It was extremely gratifying to see the successes that our partnership has produced, and I'm very grateful to the Government of Montenegro for the excellent partnership and cooperation we have had. One of the, of course, important aspects of my visit was to discuss with the government the future partnership between UNDP and the Government of Montenegro. This is quite a critical issue considering the EU accession process of Montenegro, as well as its status as a middle-income country. UNDP has made a proposal, draft proposal to the government with certain ideas. It was really very, very good to see the interest of the government in accepting that proposal. Of course, we will continue working on it. But let me tell you about one of the main elements of that proposal. This regards the establishment of a sustainable development center in Montenegro. I think this resonates very well with the declared ambition of Montenegro to become the first ecological state. And I do believe that there is indeed huge potential to achieve that in Montenegro. And it will be a very good foundation for us to build our programs into the establishment and strengthening of that center in due course. The enthusiasm that came to that towards that idea's realization was very, very good, and certainly on our side we are very committed to making it a reality. Most of the countries in our region, which covers Europe and the Commonwealth of Independent States, are middle-income countries. We have a lot of poor people in the world, and 75% of them live actually in middle-income countries. So we are not anymore talking about poor countries, but we are talking about poor people. So this places demands on us to be able to develop systems to promote economic growth that will be equitable and that will be inclusive. We are seeing that most of economic development, economic growth in the world today is actually driven by middle-income countries. That means that middle-income countries are also in a position to influence what will be the main tenets of development policies coming up. This is today, again, in a very important context because, as you know, the Millennium Development Goals that were agreed by the world leaders in the year 2000 are coming to their term end at the end of 2015. So the world is looking at what will be the framework for post-2015 development agenda. We have many countries in the region which have participated in national consultations, and I'm happy to say that Montenegro was also very active. A very large number of people participated in online or otherwise consultations. The middle-income countries have huge knowledge, experience that they can contribute to world's development, also to share, in fact, these knowledge and experience and expertise among themselves. Again, I see a big role for Montenegro coming up, especially in the context of the Sustainable Development Center that we spoke about. In Montenegro, our programs are aligned with the government priorities, which is of course, for EU accession. So we are very proud to be able to accompany and support the government in this process. And we have three main areas of intervention. These are sustainable development, social inclusion, and democratic governance. In the area of social inclusion, the emphasis is on the provision of social services to all segments of the population. We have supported, for example, 9 local municipalities to be able to develop 17 streams of social services. We are also certainly very engaged in gender empowerment, and there we have 3 main areas of intervention. These cover political participation of women, fight against domestic violence, and lastly, certainly women's empowerment. In the area of democratic governance, we are focusing on mostly public administration, justice sector, and security reform. But maybe even most importantly, since 2003, we have a capacity development program as part of our efforts, again, to support the government's priority of EU accession. In the area of public administration reform, the most important thing would be about increasing transparency and accountability of public institutions. Access to justice is a very important priority for UNDP. There we try to provide functional legal aid and to also make sure that there is continuing, in fact, assistance to people who are in need of that. Lastly, our maybe most connected, directly connected activity related to the Sustainable Development Center. In the area of sustainable development, the focus is very much on low emission economy and resource efficiencies. And we are also working together with many partners on increasing resilience of economies, ecosystems, and communities.